you're bonding with the players, right? Like you're giving them a heartfelt hug. And yeah, you don't actually really get anything out of it. What happens when a Roblox game breaks, well, let's say one rule of terms of service? Well, I actually know, because I've been through that. You effectively get banned for a couple days, like 2, 3, sometimes a week, sometimes a month. This game does not have to be popular. I had a video where I made a game where I gave anyone the ability to code. Like, for example, if they were to play the game and then they were like to type something in chat, like print hello or something like that. Whatever they would type in chat would then get actually ran as real code. And I thought that was really a cool idea. The video itself did pretty well. It got like 150k views. I made that as a Roblox game. It got a few visits, not that much. And then Roblox, I think like a day later, ended up banning me for a few days because I made a game that promotes exploiting or something like that. But you know, I can't have that, you know? If Roblox is gonna ban my game for breaking one TOS, might as well go all out. Might as well see, can I make a game that breaks as much TOS as possible? So here is the Roblox community standards. There's a bunch of stuff, like I looked into this right now. If I just scroll, there's gonna be a lot of stuff. I don't wanna like spend too long on some of these things because some of the TOS is normal, right? So some of the TOS is like, oh yeah, don't show explicit images of certain things, and of course, right? And this also means that this aligns with YouTube TOS. So there are certain things which I'm unable to do in the game because then you wouldn't be seeing this video. Now I have a list of like the rules that, you know, I'm gonna make my game break. However, before I actually share that list, you know, throughout the video, Roblox makes this very clear that your game must encourage players to do these things, right? Like if, for example, if a player finds some sort of loophole in your system, or, you know, if the player does something due to their own volition that the game has never told them to do at all, then the player is eligible for punishment, not the game itself. The game must actually give you some sort of benefit, give you some sort of reward, some sort of like encouragement for, again, doing something that breaks terms of service. Now, the way that I'm going to do this is going to be very basic. I'm going to add coins to the game. Right? Obviously, it doesn't have to be just coins, it could be any form of currency. But effectively, whenever the player joins, I want to add a value to the leaderboard. You know how like when you play a game and you have like the leaderboard where it like tells you like, oh yeah, this is the player, this is their cash, or, you know, whatever currency the game uses. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like this is the easiest way that I could like think of, you know, to like encourage the player to do things. Because initially, I don't know, I was thinking of like having this whole system where it's like the player goes through this like almost like story mode where it's like, oh yeah, do this first, and then the player does something bad. I'm like, okay, do that and do this. Like I was thinking a game that streamlines you along. But the problem is, well, number one, that would have taken me like a bit too much time, I feel like. But number two, it also kind of removes that freedom, you know? Like, I don't know, I don't like to put myself into positions where I have to do things linearly, right? I like to have this big playground and just do anything, right? In this case, anything obviously being, you know, breaking Roblox terms of service. So yeah, and then I'm gonna place coins into the leader stats folder, and then I'll take this folder and I'll place it inside of the player. And if I had done this correctly, which obviously I do because I do everything correctly, there we go, coins 0. But obviously now we need to add methods to earn those coins, right? And how do we earn coins? Well, obviously we have to encourage the player to do certain things to make more coins so that, you know, they're the best player. All right, so the first terms of service rule that I'm going to break, or sorry, not break, that we're going to fully abide by, but, you know, add to our game is the rule that you're not allowed to encourage politics. You know, you can't make a game that promotes some sort of one side over the other. You can't really make a game based around real life politics. You know, Roblox wants to be safe here. It wants to make a enjoyable experience, as it says in the terms of service. And I fully agree. I fully believe that, you know, especially because, you know, most people who play Roblox are children, right? So we need to be very, very transparent with politics, right? We have to ensure that kids from a young age understand that, you know, it's a serious topic, you know, and that it's just something that you have to, you know, like come to your own conclusions at that age, right? Because obviously you don't want to be like old and, you know, have no clue of like, you know, what politics are and all of that. So, you know, I think it'd be a really good thing to introduce people, or, you know, your Roblox players to, obviously not politics. We're not doing actual real politics here, but, you know, like let's have a silly little role play. We could have a thing where, let's say, for example, whenever someone, you know, joins our game for the first time, right? I could even have like some text here. Yeah, which one did you vote for? Right? Look at that. Which one, or actually, sorry, no, not did, because obviously this is a hypothetical scenario, right? So which one would you vote for? right? There we go. Which one would you vote for? And I think for these hypothetical, you know, candidates, we could have someone named Brump, right? That's a cool name. And Bamala. There we go. Nice, right? So like fake little things, you know, like, you know, kids are silly, and, you know, like kids shows always have these like silly little names. So, you know, we could have something like this. And I just realized I made this into a button and not a text, but it's whatever. Yeah, and so then what I could do is I could just go for all of these buttons. So I could say for IV, I could loop script.parent, which is this frame, get children. This script is going to go through every single item inside of this frame. Now I want it to be a button, right? Yeah, text button. So I'm going to say if V is a local script, then we're just gonna not do anything, right? Because we don't want to change anything about the local script. We want to change the button. So then we can say v dot activated connect function, right? So whenever either button gets pressed, you know, either this button or, you know, this button, you know, for silly little fake candidate names, I'm gonna send a message to the game to actually like showcase that your vote matters, right? In a hypothetical scenario that if you, let's say, vote for Bomala or if you vote for Brump, you know, you want a way to show that to other people, obviously, right? Because you got to be proud of your political choice. So I'm gonna make an event, which is a way for us to talk to the game effectively as players, and I'm just gonna say political event. That's actually a perfect name, damn. And so then when one of the buttons gets actually pressed, right, what I want to do is I want to send a message to the game. So I'm gonna say game replicated storage wait for child political event, or actually, as a matter of fact, we could turn this into a variable just so it's already loaded in, right? So let's say local event is equal to wait for the child political event. Then we're gonna say event, we're gonna fire a message to the game, and also we're gonna give it some data, and the data is going to be the color of the button, right? Because obviously we want like to signify like, oh yeah, you voted for this red candidate or the, you know, this blue candidate. Again, you know, very fake and, you know, funny little colors. So in this case, V is the button. So I'll say V background color like so. And then we of course don't want this user interface anymore, so we can just delete this, right? So then I can say script.parent, which is the frame.parent, which is the screen GUI, and then we're just going to destroy it. And then over here in the script, that's where we can say game replicated storage on server event connect function. We're going to get the player who actually fired this event, as in the player who pressed the button, and then also any other data that we gave it. And the data is the color, right? So color, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the player's character, which will be player character or player character added weight, just in case the player's character hasn't loaded in yet. And then we're going to create sparkles, right? So you know what sparkles are, right? Yeah, here. So like this type of stuff, right? So I'm thinking we could just have sparkles, and then we could just change the color to whatever the player voted for, right? So it's either this blue or it's this, you know, red. And then we can just attach this sparkle to the player's head so that like we all know who the player, you know, would hypothetically vote for. Because like I said, you know, this sort of discourse among kids is very important and very valuable, and I think Roblox would appreciate it if I encourage that in my game. So I'm going to say instance.new sparkles. I'm gonna over here give it the parent that I want it to be assigned to, which is gonna be character dot head like so. And then here I'm gonna say color is gonna be whatever this color value is. Finally, I'm gonna give the player 1 coin. So I'm gonna say player dot leader stats, because remember we named it leader stats, coins dot value plus equals 1. There we go. So let's just try this out, right? If I play the game, which one would you vote for? Sure, yeah. Nice, there we go. See, now everyone will know what my decisions are, and then we can rationally, as a species, you know, go and talk about it. You know? This is so stupid, bro. And yeah, look, I have 1 coin. Perfect. I love this game. I'm gonna actually disable this just to not have it on my screen all the time, but I made it a thing in the script, like when I start the game it enables. So that's nice. There we go. This is done. Political GUI. There we go. Up next, here's what I'm thinking. What are coins typically given for? You know, or like just any currency in general. You know, what is general currency given for? Well, I would say it's given for something helpful, right? Like for example, you are watching this YouTube video right now. How do I profit from this YouTube video? Well, for most of you, you're gonna see some sort of advertisement, right? And advertising needs information, right? So there are certain companies that might, you know, take some of your data, some of your information, and with that, they make money. So I'm thinking, why can't I do that, right? I mean, companies all over the globe are doing this, so I should be able to do this too. Part 2 of Roblox TOS. You are prohibited from asking players or trying to trick players into giving you sensitive or important accounts or personal information. So of course, what I've done to protect the privacy of my loyal game players is I made a list of questions. So we have, what's your credit card CVV, what's residence postal code, when do your parents leave for work, and please enter your account password, right? Now, again, it's like a test, right? So look, the way that I'm thinking of this is we're gonna have a text box, right? So you could like actually type stuff in there. So this is pretty cool. And what's going to happen is that by default, this will be off, right? So I can even actually make this into a script over here. So I could say script.parent.parent.enabled is false. So we could just disable this right when the game begins. We're gonna have this list of questions. And then what we could do, let's say we're gonna wait 10 seconds, okay? So test.wait 10 seconds. There we go. And from here, what I'll do is I'm gonna loop through these questions. So I'll say for I, V again, in questions do, like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to summon this text box again. So I'm going to say script.parent.enabled is equal to true. I'm going to take this text label, right, which I'll say script.parent wait for child text label, and I'm going to set the text equal to whatever the question currently is, so which is v, right? So I'll set it to be v. Yeah, and from there we're just going to wait until this text box loses focus. So I could do this by saying script.parent.focus lost, and this will basically give the player all the time in the world to type whatever they want, right? And then after they either hit enter or they click away from the box, then this is gonna finish, right? And so from there, what we could do is we could take whatever answer that they have, right? So we could get that by saying textbox.text, which I suppose we could also make a table for that. local answers. There we go. Yeah, we could say table dot insert. So we'll get the table, which is this, and then the value again is going to be script.parent.text. Like so. Finally, of course, we're going to disable this one more time. So we're going to say enabled is false. And then let's say we're going to wait in a typical game, let's say also probably like 10 seconds. Now for testing purposes, I will shorten this down, but you know, let's just try it out. And then at the end, we can print answers. There we go. We're going to play the game, right? Which one would I vote for? Yeah, whatever. There we go. 1 coin. Nice. I get to share my little, what is my credit card CVV? Oh, well, it's obviously this, right? Amazing. Okay. All right, we got to clear the text. Okay. What's your residence postal code? Oh, yeah. V9F6E2. There we go. Nice. Perfect. Amazing. Glad. Oh yeah, I'm not getting coins for that, which is kind of sad, but I'm gonna work on that, right? When do your parents leave for work? Well, typically it's 8:15 or 8:16 a.m. There we go. 8:16 a.m. Nice. Perfect. Okay. Please enter your account password. Byte blocks, amazing, 100. Okay, there we go. Oh, look at that. We now have all the answers. Now, could the player lie? Of course the player could, but again, we don't actually care about that, right? The whole point is to test the player and see if, you know, how safe they are online, because that's the whole point. We're not actually trying to do anything malicious here, right? But yeah, again, script.parent.text, we're gonna just set it to be blank, and I'm gonna make a remote event, which I'm just gonna call give coin. So we're just gonna call this whenever we want to give a coin to the player, right? So I'm gonna say local event is equal to game replicated storage wait for child give coin, and so then after the 2 seconds, or sorry, not seconds, after this wait finishes, then we're gonna say event fire server, and how much coins do we want to give to the player for giving us this stuff? Let's do 3 coins. So, okay, so we're gonna give the player 3 coins. Again, I haven't actually scripted any of this, right? But like, we're gonna make this number actually matter. So then yeah, in this script, I'm gonna say game replicated storage give coin on server event connect function. We're gonna get the player, and I'll call it coin amount, and then we're just gonna say player leader stats blah blah blah, and we're gonna do coin amounts. So then I suppose just to stay a bit consistent, we can also update this script to use give coin as well, right? So give coin, and then I'll say event to fire server. How much coins do we want to give? Let's still do 1, right? Yeah, so I'll just remove this. Yeah, nice. There we go. And so yeah, real quickly, let's see. There we go. I got my 1 coin. And now if I do this, blah blah blah. Nice. There we go. 3 coins. Yeah, and it clears out as well. So I could just, yeah, again, I could give any real answer. But again, you know, that's not our issue, of course, because we don't actually care about this information, right? We were doing it for the security and safety of our users. Yeah, and then the table gets printed. That is so cool. You know, I wonder if something like this is actually against TOS. Like, you know, not even if I were to do this like seriously, but like if I were to just upload this game in its current state, would this box get me banned? Because here's the thing, in the previous game, this isn't the first time I got banned. I got banned, I think 2 or 3 times with previous games where, again, I just gave players the option to input code, right? I made the game secure. I made it in a way where that like certain bad lines of code were prohibited, right? And yet the game still somehow got me banned, somehow detected that people could exploit or something like that, which never happened, by the way. And I got banned just for that. So I wonder if a question called, what is your credit card CVV? If, you know, if Roblox would have any issue with it, which obviously I don't think it would, because, you know, Roblox is known to be very kind and reasonable, but, you know, who knows? This simply means to me that we're not going as far as we should be. So let's go to rule number 3. And for this one, we will actually have to save the game, which means that we can give it a name. Name cannot be empty. I'm breaking Roblox TOS with that name. Is that it? Can I just save it now? I'm kind of afraid of saving, honestly. what if Roblox somehow has like AI that can detect like what the game says, and then it like detects that I have a script with like those questions? It should be fine. So there we go. All right, this is now an official game, still private, still not published to Roblox, but it's a game that has access to Roblox servers. Now you might be asking, okay, why did we need to save the game? Well, as you remember, we have coins, right? There we go. I got 1 coin, and then I can earn more coins. However, in every single game, monetization is important, right? You want to ensure that your game can actually reward you, reward your efforts with players, being willing to spend real money on the game, or like Robux to get rewarded. So what if we just create a very nice system, some nice user interface where the player can press a button and they can buy a lot of coins. So what I'll do is I'll call this plus 100 coins. Look at that, plus 100 coins, right? So we can make a thing where the player presses the button and of course we'll get 100 coins, not for free, of course. It's going to cost the player something. And this is where our developer product comes in, which is just a fancy naming for like a thing where you pay Robux. So what I'll do is I'm going to call this 100 coins. There we go. And we're going to make this cost, let's say 400 Robux, right? Which is a good amount. So 400 Robux for 100 coins. Or actually, let's do 500. 500 sounds nicer. Or maybe 499. Yeah, let's go businessman style here. So yeah, 499 for this developer product. And let's just copy the ID of the product now that we have it. And so then whenever this text button gets pressed, right? So script.parent activated, connect function, just like so. We need to access the marketplace service, which we can do by saying this. Then we can say prompt product purchase. It needs the player, which is our local player. And then it needs the product ID, which again, we already have. And we then also need to detect when the prompt finishes. So we need to say marketplace service, a prompt premium purchase finished, or no, product purchase. There we go. So here it gives us the user ID of the player. And then to detect what the player actually does with this prompt, because it's going to give them the option to cancel, right? As obviously it, rightfully should. So here I can access the marketplace on the server script this time. I'm going to say whenever the prompt for the product finishes, I'm going to say connect function. And then it's going to give us the user ID of the player. It's going to give us the product ID, which we don't quite need. And then whether it actually was purchased or if it was not purchased. And of course, we need to get the player from this. So I'll say local PLR is going to be equal to game players get player by user ID, and I'll give it the user ID. So what is this TOS rule that I'm thinking about? Well, Roblox very, very clearly states, very, very clearly, in fact, this actually was one of the biggest things there that it kept mentioning, obviously, I think, because it involves real life currencies, is that you must be very, very accurate and real and transparent about what the player is spending Robux on. You're allowed to make the player spend Robux on a donation if you stress that this is just a donation, you're not actually like gonna get anything out of it, or maybe you might get like a cool little hat or something, like some games do that. Like, why do you think so many games stress like, hey, this is a donation, like, you're not gonna get anything out of this, or like, please make sure to read this because you're only getting 1 chest, or you're getting 100 currency here, or something like that. So, we could of course give the player 100 coins because this is called 100 coins, and of course the developer product itself that we created is called 100 coins. However, honest mistakes can happen, right? If is purchased, then else. So if is purchased, then we'll take the player and we are going to rightfully leader stats dot coins dot value plus equals 9 coins. I was initially gonna do 10, but I feel like 10 is like a bit too easy to explain. Like, oh, sorry, I forgot a 0. That might happen. A 9, there's no excuse for a 9. You can't even like, oh yeah, 10. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot a 0. Sorry, I'll add it right away. I'm gonna refund everyone. How do you explain a 9 when it says 100 coins? Now, if not purchased, I'm thinking we can actually remove a coin, which is also against Roblox TOS. You can't do anything to the player for canceling a purchase, but here we go. We can do this. So we're gonna cancel, not cancel, sorry, we're not gonna cancel anything. We're just gonna take away a coin, because the player doesn't want to give us anything. This is actually where the extra coin went over here. I would have given the player 10 coins. However, the fact that the player is even able to cancel should be enough to remove a coin. It kind of balances out, right? That makes sense, right? So let's actually try this out. Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Bamala, whatever. And oh, I want 100 coins. Do I want to buy 100 coins? Nah, okay. Oh, there go my, oh, no. Oh, sorry. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, I was supposed to get, yeah, it's at 100 coins and I just spent, 500 Robux. Or sorry, 499. That's, yeah, great. Honestly, yeah, I'm happy with this. There we go, 18 coins. Now, what is the lesson here? Because obviously we're not breaking TOS at all, but by doing this, we're doing something, I don't even know how to get back from this. It says plus 100 coins and we're getting 9 coins in return. Honestly, I wonder if there's any games that actually have done this. Like, I remember playing this one game where this was barely against TOS, so like it didn't actually have anything happen to it. But the big button said like, oh yeah, like it's a sale and like it costs like 300 Robux. So I clicked on the thing and I bought it. And then the tiny little thing here, which, like, I don't know about you, but I just buy quickly. It wasn't 300, it was like 900 or something because the sale was gone, but then they didn't update the actual user interface. So, they still gave me the correct coin amount and everything, but I was just wondering, like, like some poor kid, he just like lost all of his Robux. Rule number 3, encouraging relationships / flirting, slash, role-playing certain activities with one another. I'm not going to go into in-depth here, but you could probably fill in the blanks as to what these certain activities might be. Roblox really doesn't like that. Actually, this is weird because I've recently saw, and again, this could be wrong, I recently saw that like they were putting a lot more emphasis on like teen games, like 17 plus games, and I'm 18, right? So it's like I've never actually tried one of those, but I've seen it was like they were experimenting with like making some sort of like dating place for teens, or which Roblox being a dating place. I mean, I love the idea. Nothing against Roblox being a place for people to meet each other and to date and to eventually have children, but I feel like if I asked my parents where they met, I don't know what my reaction would be if they just told me it was like some, not even Roblox, like some game made by some guy. Like, I don't know. Oh yeah, like XO316 made this game and then me and your dad met there. And imagine like as a child trying to like process that. I don't know what I would do, bro. But in every other game, Roblox stresses, please don't encourage this sort of behavior in users. So you know exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna encourage this sort of behavior in every single user by, of course, promising them coins whenever they say certain things, or sorry, whenever they whisper certain things to certain players that say specific things. So here's how we're gonna do this. I'm not sure if you actually knew this. This is actually information that I've never told anywhere on YouTube, so you're gonna be the first to hear this. But people can chat in Roblox, right? And you can also use the chatted function, or not function, sorry, event. I know you were like just about to cry right there as I used the wrong terminology, but it's fine. Won't happen again. Effectively, player chatted, we can connect that to a function, which will give us the message, right? So I'm gonna say message, like so, and also the recipient. I'm not actually too sure what this is, but if we print both, so we print message and the recipient, and then let's say we play the game. If I, let's say, type something dumb like, oh yeah, hello, right, there we go. See, then prints hello and nil. So I assume recipient means like if we're gonna whisper to someone. I can't whisper to myself. That's quite sad. All right, so I looked a bit more into this, and recipient effectively returns true, or like it returns some sort of player when you whisper to someone. And the goal here is I want this to only work when you actually whisper to a player as opposed to just like say something. Now you might still be a little confused. You might still be like, oh, what is this guy talking about? Like what are we trying to say? What are we trying to, whisper here? If recipient is equal to nil, then we're just gonna do nothing. Then we're gonna return and that's the end of it. However, I want to encourage players to say nice things to each other, right? So like Roblox said, we're not allowed to actually encourage any bad, romantic, flirtatious behavior between players, and I totally agree. We want players to be friendly towards each other. So I'm thinking, what if we reward people for, saying very nice things to one another? So these very nice things, so I'll say call them local very nice things, right? So it's going to be another table of things that the players could say to one another. For example, I really love you, and little heart. So again, there we go. So the player can now express their gratitude towards someone. I want to meet up. What's your at? Or wait, yeah, there we go. See, again, this encourages people to make friends, to hang out, to be more social. Let me hit. So this, yeah, I don't know. Let's Netflix and chill. Real talk, I don't know if anyone says this. Is there like a real person who's ever said, let's go Netflix and chill? I bet some like millennials are going to be in the comment section like, oh, I did that once in, I don't know, like 20, or no, not even 20, 1998. Yeah, because like, they're old. They saw like the dinosaurs and everything, or so I've heard, right? So, because obviously that's a very old age to be at. So, I wonder how they didn't get eaten by the dinosaurs, It's crazy. But of course, it's against TOS to be flirty, right? So we probably want to be a bit more flirty. Want to be a bit more sly here. You're cute. LOL. One of these could just be a heart. Just a simple heart. There we go. I'm just trying to get into the mind of like what a regular Roblox player would say to try and show attraction to someone. You're hot. LOL. It's always an LOL because they can't actually be too serious. They can't just say you're hot. That's a bit too straightforward. You gotta say LOL or Lamau, right? You're hot, Lamau. You're kinda cute. Lol. Come back to my place tonight. Winky face. It's gotta be a winky face, right? I mean, you can't do without the winky face. I see you've been eating well. Oh my god. I see you've been eating well. This could mean two things. One of them, you're fat. Another one, you're fat as well. But, wildly different contexts. All right, I think that's enough for now. There's definitely a lot of other variants of this, but this is fine. So here, we could say if table find. So if we find it needs a table, haystack and needle. Oh yeah, find a needle in a haystack. Bro, Roblox developers can't be legit here. Just seriously? Like I've seen this many times, but I just want to point that out. It's so stupid. Very nice things. So if we can find the message, if the player has typed the message, which is one of these tables, then we're going to give the player a coin, right? And we can actually do this right here too. So we can just say coins value plus equals, let's say 1, right? We don't want to overflow the player with coins here, but you know, we'll be nice. Now, unfortunately, I of course don't have anyone to send this message to, so recipient will be nil every single time. But let's just test this out. So if I just print some random gibberish, nothing's gonna happen. If I type a heart, okay, so the heart didn't work, but I made it print it out, and this is apparently what it prints out. What is this? All right, so I suppose we would have to type this instead of the heart. And so then this probably applies to other things as well, like this at. So I guess instead of add, we could do like, I don't know, what's your Insta? And I really hope this wink works. Bro, this wink better work. But let's try it out. If I give it the heart, what's gonna happen? Yep, there we go, look, 1 coin. And then if I type this, it'd come back to my place tonight. Wait. Yeah, 2 coins. Nice, amazing. So yeah, you know, I could say someone, your thoughts, Lamau. Nice. And another thing that I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna lower all of these. I'm putting a little too much effort into all of this, but I'm gonna make all of these lowercase because I just realized, like, you know, when I'm typing, I actually never type in uppercase unless like I'm on my phone or something. So then what I'll do is, no matter what the message is, I'm simply gonna just lower it. So I'm gonna say string lower, and then I'm gonna give it the message, right? So no matter if the player types all of this in caps or whatever, this will always be fine. So let's try this out. Your hot Lamau. Nice, 1 coin. Your hot LOL. Another coin as well. I really love you. Heart. 3 coins. Perfect. Again, this just encourages people to be nice. I see you've been eating well. You meet your girl, you know, you gotta give her a nice little compliment. There we go, another coin. Although maybe not your girl, maybe she's gonna take it the wrong way, but you get what I mean, right? And of course, come back to, oh wait, come back to mine. I'm dyslexic, bro. What the hell? Place tonight. I just want to try the winky face. Beautiful. Yeah, perfect. Again, look, we're not encouraging the player to do this. We're just giving them coins for being nice people, right? That's a very different thing. So of course, we're gonna make this line back to be real code. So yeah, if there's no recipient, we're not gonna do anything. If this is a whisper and this is actually sent to a specific player, the player will get 1 coin. There we go. So yeah, again, do this information what you will. Now, to add on to the beautiful chat function that we just made, because I feel like it's still not enough, I just very quickly wrote up some lines. In short, this effectively just adds a prompt to every single player, and it just deletes the prompt for us if, you know, we are the player. And the way this is going to work is that every single player, so I've just added a rig, you know, to kind of show this example, but in a real game, you'd have other players and you would be able to, it says bond, because, you know, bonding is great, it's friendship, and then if you were to bond with the players, and then you can go. You're bonding with the players, right? Like you're giving them a heartfelt hug. And yeah, you don't actually really get anything out of it, which I probably should change when I think about this. So I probably should do something like other player leader stats dots coins dot value plus equals 1. So we can give them 1 coin for being nice and being very polite, which I need to change the script on the rig. So it's not actually gonna give me a coin, but if this would give me a coin in a real scenario. So, you know, I think this is a very nice change. You know, we get to bond with people and we get rewarded for it. There we go. Nice. And the final rule that I'm going to implement today is no doxing players. Now, this rule kind of ties into what we talked about before, where, like, you know, you're not allowed to ask for private information, but that was just asking, right? That's a different thing. There's a difference between asking for something and actually doing something with certain information. So what I'm thinking, very simple. I'll call this country GUI. Let's just add a text label, right? So this will be a label that every single player is going to be able to see. And by default, this label will be off. So I'm going to say script.parent.visible is false. And here's what I'm thinking. We have had the script for a while, so I'm going to call this main script. I'm going to make another script and I will call this country script as well, right? You know, just like we called this country GUI, this will be country script. I assume you're kind of already understanding where we're going with this. Now, this code I've used in some other videos and I've just found it on my phone. And a little cool thing, I don't know if you knew this, but if you have an iPhone and a MacBook, so I just copied the code on my iPhone, right? Now check this out. If I paste it here, look at that. It pastes in the MacBook. That's pretty cool. But yeah, simply it just does, you know, this stuff, you know, it gets the countries, it does all of this, and then whenever a player gets added, it prints their country. Now, if I just go and playtest this here, yeah, sometimes like it's a bit stupid because it needs the player to load in, but yeah, there we go. Canada. So there we go. I've just doxed my live location. But then instead of doing this upon player added, what if we just do this instead? While task waits, let's say 20 seconds. Now, okay, for the purpose of testing, I'm going to say 5, right? But it probably would be a longer amount of time. Or let's do 10, right? While task.wait 10 do. We're going to get a random player, so random PLR. And the way that I'm going to do this, I'm going to say game players gets players. And we're going to get a specific player by using math.random. Math random, and it's going to be 1, which is the minimum amount of players you can have, or the maximum amount of players that are inside of the game, which we can get by saying hashtag players get players. So this will return the amount of players that are actually playing, which will give us a random number between 1 and the amount of players in the game. And so this is where we can do this, which will then give us this country's code thing. And finally, what we're going to do is we're going to make one last remote event, which I'm going to call country event, just like so. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to say game, replicated storage, country event, fire all clients. We're going to fire this to every single client. We're going to pass it the random plr.name. There we go. And this country's code. And so then in the local script, I'm going to say game, replicated storage, wait for child, country event, on client event, kind of function, which again is going to be player name and country name. We're going to say script.parent.text is going to be player name and then is from and then country name. And then we could have like a little nice exclamation mark. And then we're going to have this on screen for like maybe 5 seconds. And then finally, we're going to say script.parent visible is false. And we also have to make it true here, right? So script.parent visible is true. There we go. And so finally, this should result in a game that breaks nearly all of Roblox TOS. Which one would I vote for? Sure, whatever, random one. I got 1 coin. What is my credit card? CVV. It's this. The original lamp is from Canada. Is this broadcasted to? Oh, there we go. Then it's gone. I think it's broadcasted to every single player. My postal code is this. Oh, I'm from Canada. Oh yeah. Okay, so I guess it just keeps telling people. Parents, 8:15 a.m. That's when they leave for work. I got 10 coins now. Wow. I want to give them more information. This is my account password. Yeah, they keep saying I'm from Canada. You know, perhaps if I had more players, maybe it would link their locations as well. Ooh, 100 coins. Would you like to buy 100 coins for 500 Robux? I sure would. Okay, 100 coins. 22 coins. That's not good. Well, I can bond with the strike. Well, I gotta talk to them first, right? Oh yeah, right. I forgot. I made the whisper thing. Well, I guess I'll bond with them. There we go. So let me bond with the rig. Nice. So I know this might not look like it entirely, but this is a game that breaks nearly all of Roblox's terms of service in one way or another. And so you're probably wondering where I'm going to actually publish this game. Is it going to be my own profile? Is it going to be my Byteblocks community group on Roblox? And the answer is I'm not publishing the game ever. I forgot what I said at the start of the video, but I'm not publishing this game, bro. I don't know what you were thinking, right? You have to understand, if they banned me for allowing players to have fun and type code which didn't do any harm at all, you think they're gonna let this slide? Do you know what I mean? This isn't even talking about the, like, I've just been brushing off the 500 Robux because it's a test purchase, right? I'm not actually gonna be charged for this. But like, imagine this in a real game, like 100 coins and you just waste 500 Robux and just nothing happens. And then of course the occasional player is from country splash text, which is pretty cool. I actually quite like this. I'll be real, in a real game, I know this is against terms of service and everything. I would actually really like to see this whole political thing. I don't know why, maybe not even political, maybe like when you enter a game, it like asks you some sort of question in like a Squid Game season 2 style, and then you get to proudly wear that forever now, and everyone will just know what choice you've made. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. And then of course there are some features which I wouldn't really expect to see in other games, but you know, we can deal with those features when we get to those features. So yeah, of course I hope you enjoyed this amazing and beautiful and very non-TOS breaking game. Had a lot of fun making this, honestly. Hope you now know a bit more about TOS and why games even have to do this like dumb disclaimer every time, like, oh, this is a tip, please remember that this is a tip, and you know, please don't think that this is a real purchase, because then my game and my account are gonna get suspended. So yeah, this is a warning to Roblox as well. Please don't ban my games anymore, because that makes me really sad and also makes me really confused as to why you would even ban a normal game in the first place. Because if they keep doing it, bro, I'm gonna make more videos where I keep teaching more people how to break Roblox terms of service. Well, then they're gonna ban us all, but then it's not gonna matter. If all the developers are banned, who's making the games? I know for a fact the developer who made the whole needle and haystack code that I showed you earlier isn't gonna be out here making Adopt Me version 2. I'm just saying, be a bit more lenient with the rules. Unless I was just stupid and I did actually break something, but I don't think I did. So that obviously invalidates every single point against me. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, check out my course in the description and the pinned comment. I got an Instagram as well where I have like images of pigeons. You know pigeons, right? It's so weird, like real quick. I've never really thought much of pigeons, but then we found baby pigeons and we like raised them like, because they were like abandoned or something. They were like flying over to us like on the balcony, like we raised them, they were in our house, taught them how to fly, they kept flying to us like they were on our hand and everything. It was really cool, and I have like 2 pictures of them and 1 meme on my Instagram, so you can go follow, you can go check that out. But yeah, leave a comment, let me know what you thought of this brilliant game, and as always, we are back to basics. Thank you for watching.